Chill out, Sheldon.
I'm not Sheldon, I'm the Flash. And now I'm going to the Grand Canyon to scream in frustration. I'm back.
I'm Batman.
Well, I hardly think so. The real Cape Crusader calls his crime-fighting cohorts when he's running late.
I had to walk. I couldn't get Raj on the back of my scooter.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Aquaman sucks.
Well, hello kiddies, it's your friendly neighborhood watchman with you again on another video, and this time we'll be briefly talking about Warner Brothers, its DC Universe, Henry Cavill, James Gunn, Zack Snyder, and the death of the Snyderverse. So I'd like to begin with this article from the New York Post by Johnny Oleksinski with the title, DC Studios was actually right to fire Superman, Henry Cavill. And under the photo is the caption, DC Studios' new co-CEO James Gunn and Peter Safran are making big changes to the DCEU's superhero franchise. So let's just jump right into this, shall we? In 2012's Dark Knight Rises, Batman's foe, Bane, threatened to blow Gotham City. Gotham City. I don't know why that's funny.
This town needs an enema.
Gotham City to smithereens. Bane lost, but 10 years later, DC Studios is picking up where the villain left off and wiping out much of the existing DC extended universe of superheroes. On Wednesday, it was revealed that Henry Cavill was fired as Superman, a cape he has donned since 2013. The new heads of DC, James Gunn and Peter Safran, also recently nixed director Patty Jenkins' plans for Wonder Woman 3. Meanwhile, actor Robert Pattinson's Batman films and Todd Phillips' Joker sequel with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga will be allowed to move forward, but will not be a part of the DCEU. Boy, I mean, that's just a bit of a mess right there. You're making a DCEU, a new one, but you're making two films outside of that. That was like Marvel back in the day when it was good, making like Iron Man, Tony Stark film, and a Captain America film outside of the MCU. But, it's not my problem. So, I digress and back with the article. Good riddance. DC movies are mostly terrible and make a pittance at the box office compared to its rival Marvel Studios, which is owned by Disney. Yeah, don't remind us. Warner Brothers, which kicked off the comic book bloodbath this summer with the dramatic shelving of Batgirl, has finally figured this out. It's a major shakeup that's been a long time coming. Unlike Marvel, DC has suffered embarrassing flop after flop. This summer's Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the title anti-hero, took in just $389 million at the worldwide box office. The Suicide Squad, with decent reviews, did $168 million in 2021. And Wonder Woman 1984 made just $169 million in late 2020. The Batman fared best at $770 million back in March. The string of stunning failures could partly be credited to the pandemic and WB's short-lived strategy of direct-to-HBO Max releases, which has been axed by WB Discovery President and CEO David Zaslav. At the same time, however, some of Marvel's 2021 and 2022 movies were huge successes, regardless of broader industry challenges. Spider-Man No Way Home, $1.9 million, which is technically a Sony film, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at $955 million. DC films also tend to enrage critics, who vastly prefer the more consistent MCU. The takeaway is that DC is a monster mess that must be knocked down and rebuilt from scratch, regardless of what those crazed Zack Snyder fans will tell you. But the demolition won't be easy. So the writer Johnny Oleksinski knocking Zack Snyder fans, huh? The high-profile, high-stakes effort is one that almost nobody in Hollywood wanted to take on. I don't blame them. The whole town turned the job down, an industry source said. It was almost Todd Phillips. They begged him. And then we have James Gunn and Peter Safran, the new CEOs of the DC studios. Ultimately, Warner Brothers Discovery went with Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy for Marvel and The Suicide Squad for DC, and Safran, who produced Shazam and Aquaman at DC. The duo were helping Zaslav with the search to replace Walter Hamada, Dick Cheney style, and wound up with the gig. Some don't believe Gunn, who has been in the role since October, is up to the task of turning around the struggling studio. Gunn has never run anything, the source said. I wonder if big filmmakers will work for another director with zero experience guiding movies to a huge grinder of his system. He's not Kevin Feige of Marvel. In any case, Gunn is starting out guns a-blazing with a young Superman film that he has written and says it's not an origin story. No director has been announced yet. Some DCEU movies are already in the can and will, for now, be released in 2023. They include Shazam, Fury of the Gods, The Flash, with controversial star Ezra Miller, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. After that, it's the Gunn show. Yeah, and I don't know what they're thinking going with The Flash, starring and being portrayed by Ezra Miller. It says here it's a standalone Flash film, still slated for release, despite star Ezra Miller's recent controversy. I never liked Ezra Miller to begin with, and that was before all the real world off the set crap he's been involved with. I mean, sure, lunacy. Why wouldn't you get another actor? Doesn't have this emotional baggage, behavior problems. I would have axed his ass a long time ago. And that costume, I just don't like it at all. It may be just me, but I think it's awful. The CW Flash on television, played by a much more likable actor, Grant Gustin, although I haven't watched that show in quite a few years now. All that wool crap just grinds my gears. So even before this new DCEU gets put together, like I said earlier, they're doing the Batman film and the Joker film outside of this new DCEU universe. And they're going on with this standalone Flash film with this troubled actor. I mean, geez. Start off with a clean slate. I understand Joaquin Phoenix won't want to be a reoccurring character and be as involved in the DCEU as Tom Hiddleston is with Loki with Disney's MCU. That's just not his vibe, so to speak. But again, this is not my problem. It's Warner Brothers' doing. So I digress again. And to continue the article, another thorn, though, is that NBC Universal is said to be eyeing a purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery. So whatever strategic changes Gunn and Safran make could be jettisoned soon enough anyway. Well, I mean, brother.
How do you like that?
Zaslav denied that WB is for sale during a town hall, but the industry source insisted they're a cash-poor company being stripped to be sold. One thing is clear, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has released 30 movies to the tune of $25 billion and a Best Picture Oscar nomination for Black Panther. Coincidence? Yeah, a woke Best Picture Oscar nomination. But I digress. To even remotely compete with that behemoth, DC will need to change in a Flash. Yeah, and they need to change the Flash actor, in my opinion.
One big onion.
So, I mean, this is all could be for naught anyway, because as the article said, NBC Universal might buy it and they could just throw everything out the window. Man, it's no wonder nobody wanted to take over the DCEU for Warner Brothers Discovery. It's too much up in the air, too much uncertainty. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. So with that, kiddies, we've reached the end of another video. I know.
I forget the rest.
But don't worry, I'll be back again with another one. And if you like this video, smack that subscribe button. And if you hated the video, then just annihilate that like button. And hit that notification bell so that you'll be forewarned when I'm ready to drop another video. And with that, my friend, as always, be safe, and I bid you peace.
Hold on, the costume came with a black wig. Where is it, babe?
No, I'm not wearing it. It looks stupid.
Come on, we're trying to win a contest here.
Forget it. I'm not wearing the wig.
Penny, there's no I in Justice League.